A lot of people fall in love with cars because they watched a movie when they were young, or they knew someone who had a cool car. I fell in love with cars because I had to start working on them when I was 15. There are really two things I like about working on cars. The first one is it's a puzzle. Whether you're a jigsaw guy, Rubik's Cubes, there's something really satisfying about knowing my fingers can do this, the puzzles go this way, I don't know how to get there, but navigating those questions and getting a solution. With cars, it's the exact same thing. You turn a car on and it won't work, but you smell something a little bit odd, you hear a certain type of click, and you can rationalize, because I know how this works, I can fix that. And it's a tool to implement logic in a puzzle with real consequences. When you build a puzzle, you go, oh, that's pretty. With a Rubik's Cube, when you solve it, you scramble it again. But when you're fixing a car, you spend this mental labor figuring out why it's not working, and when you finally solve that issue, you have this vehicle which is now again capable of what you're about to do. Riding up and down the road, enjoying your favorite music, and realizing, I won, I defied this problem with my logic. That's one phenomenal part about working on cars. When I was getting my license, I was determined to get my permit on the first day, my license on the first day I could. After almost hitting a fire hydrant on my dad's car purportedly, he said, you're buying your own car, you're not learning to drive. So I went out and got a 2000 Saturn Ion. It was an absolutely horrible car. It barely worked when I got it. And I tried to fix it, and realizing that even if I fixed this one issue, that would only make it drivable enough I could find all the other issues with it. At the time, my friend had a similar vintage Volkswagen. I said, look, why don't we legally change cars? I'll take your piece of junk and you can take mine and we can call it a day. I was able to get it back on the road again, and then it ran well for several years. Eventually, pieces started to seriously break. I wanted to get something kind of fun. So I got a car that people would go, ooh, what's that funky European thing? And I got a Saab. My first car with a turbo, got to learn how to spool it, and was able to have a lot of great times. Over time, as I started to get more cars, started to learn more about them, started compiling a bucket list of what cars I want to own. And I was at the beach one day, and I figured, screw it. I really need a German sports car. 2 days later, I was driving home in a BMW Z3 Roadster. Matte black, tan interior, inline six, 2.5 liter engine, and most notably a 5-speed manual. The BMW got totaled by a magnanimous Hummer owner who felt the need to rear end me. I was able to take the money from the total BMW and instead got a Porsche. The Porsche was a refined version of the BMW. There was still a playfulness and a want to enjoy life, but there was refined. The BMW was 90s car, torn seats, not too pretty. The Porsche was perfect, and still is. Of all the cars that I've owned, the Porsche isn't as fun as the BMW, but it's the most technically perfect in every way. The reason I have so many different cars is because there's something fun and unique about each one. This Triumph, for instance, is cool because it's so old. And cars that are antiques like this work in different ways. Technology that they use, for instance, to bring the gas to the engine, totally different from what you would find in any type of modern car. And it has things like it's mechanical. You can feel the AC turning on, you feel a gear moving in the background. If I were to flip this, turn that, it's very visceral. Where so many things today are just electronic. That's what's cool about this. It's not fast, but it's unique, and I love that about it. The Volkswagen, it's one of the only station wagons, if not the only one, you can buy in the US with a diesel engine. It has different pros and cons in the way it drives. It'll always have the same amount of power, whatever gear you're in, which makes a different driving experience. And hey, diesel, I can get almost 50 to the gallon. And the Porsche is unique because, I mean, look at it. It's mid-engine, which very few cars are. Porsche, in old racing days, actually put the key on the left side of the steering wheel so that someone could put it in gear and turn the key at the same time. Another thing that just makes it different. There are very few particular makes and models that I would like to own, and it's more of a bucket list, right? An old Toyota, a Jeep, something like that would be really exciting. An old American highway cruiser, a Chevelle, a Coupe de Ville. I'd like a rear engine car at some point, which probably ends up being an older Beetle or an older 911, a Honda S2000. It's a cheap car, but I'd love to see what that's like. One of the Aston Martins that's new enough to feel new, but old enough that it still feels like a car and less like a racing simulator. And obviously, who doesn't want a Ferrari? Whether it's because they're from a nationality which had a unique style of making cars, or they have a technology which is totally different. I like collecting vehicles that bring something new to what I own or what I have owned.